The Swazi History. Following the passing of King Sobhuza II in August 1983, various factions within the Swazi royal family engaged in a power struggle to determine who would succeed him. The most influential amongst these was the Ligogo, and it used its influence to manipulate and distort Swazi culture and tradition to ensure that its preferred candidate, one Mfikenemak Hositive Dlamini, a product of a one-night stand between King Sobhuza and Mfumbi Tfwala, ascended to the throne. Today marks 37 years since the fateful coronation of Mfikenemak Hositive as King of Swaziland. He assumed the name King Mswati III of Swaziland. Timeline of Mswati's illegitimate ascension. 1967, pre-independence elections are held in Swaziland. King Sobhuza's Imbokodvo National Movement, INM, wins all seats. 1967, Mfumbi Tfwala, an 18-year-old maid to one of King Sobhuza's wives, Lamasuku, falls pregnant and claims 67-year-old Sobhuza is the culprit. The 19th of April 1968, Mfumbi Tfwala gives birth to a baby boy at the Raleigh Fitkin Memorial Hospital in Manzini. He is given the name Mfikenemak Hositive because he is born at a time when heads of state and government are coming to attend the country's independence. The 6th of September 1968, Swaziland gains independence from Britain after 66 years of colonial rule. May 1972, first post-independence elections are held. Sobhuza's INM secures 75% of the vote. The NNLC, led by Ambrose Swain, gets 20% of the vote, securing 3 seats. The 12th of April 1973, King Sobhuza repeals the Independence Constitution, dissolves Parliament, bans political parties, and vests in himself all executive, judicial, and legislative powers. He also exempts the monarchy from legal accountability, effectively becoming Africa's newest dictator. 1978, the Tinkhundla political system is introduced by Sobhuza. He calls it an experiment. The 27th of October 1978, elections are held for the first time since 1972. Political parties prohibited from contesting.
The 23rd of November 1979, Prince Mabandla appointed Prime Minister by King Sobhuza. 1980, Nkosikazi Jalairi Shumwe is appointed Queen Mother by Sobhuza. The 17th of February 1982, King Sobhuza secretly signs a non-aggression pact with South Africa's apartheid regime. Under its terms, Swazi authorities agree to expel all African National Congress, ANC, members from Swaziland and further prevent terrorist incursions into South Africa. In return, South Africa promises to give to Swaziland Ingwavuma and all lands under the Kangwane homeland. The 18th of June 1982, King Sobhuza issues a decree which gives tremendous powers to his advisory council, the Likoko. The decree recognizes the Likoko as a supreme council of state made up of members appointed directly by the king. This decree gave it unlimited powers to overrule any law or decision in the national interest. August 21, 1982, King Sobhuza dies without appointing an heir apparent. This gives rise to several factions within the royal family, all intent on getting their preferred candidate appointed king. The 21st of August 1982, Queen Jalairi is appointed Queen Regent. The 25th of August 1982, Queen Regent Jalairi appoints the 15-member Ligogo with its chairperson an ambitious and ruthless prince called Mfanasibili. The 25th of August 1982, Prince Sazisa is appointed the authorized person by Queen Regent Jalairi. The Ligogo conspires to have its preferred candidate succeed King Sobhuza. Standing in their way is the Prime Minister, Prince Mabandla, and the Queen Regent, Jalairi. The 18th of March 1983, the Likoko dismisses the Prime Minister, Prince Mabandla. He is accused of abusing his power, attempting to gain authority over the army and attempting to divert Swaziland from the political path formulated by the late King Sobhuza. He flees to Mafeking. The 18th of March 1983, Prince Bikimpi, a traditionalist and hardliner, is appointed Prime Minister. July 1983, the People's United Democratic Movement, PUDEMO, is formed. The 2nd of August 1983, the Legogo sets its sight on Queen Regent Jalawi. It gives her a document drafted by a South African advocate, Yusuf Patel, that transfers her powers to the authorized person. She seeks the advice of Arthur Koza, a former member of the Ngwane National Liberatory Congress, NNLC, and at the time, Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture. He reads the document and advises her not to sign it. August 1983, Legogo issues a government gazette entitled Assumption of Regency by the Endovukazi. This document relieves Jalawi of her regency and appoints August 1983. Legogo issues a government gazette entitled Assumption of Regency by the Endovukazi. This document relieves Jalawi of her regency and appoints as Queen Regent, Ntfombi Tiefwala, the teenage housemaid that King Sobhuza had impregnated out of wedlock. August 1983, one of King Sobhuza's sons, Prince Gabhini, at the time Minister of Home Affairs and also a member of Legogo, defends Jalawi. He attempts to organize a mass meeting at Lobamba in support of Jalawi. The Legogo stops the meeting. August 1983, Queen Jalawi approaches the High Court and files an urgent application challenging the legality of her removal from office and requests the court to declare her removal null and void. She also seeks the cancellation of the appointment in Ntfombi Tiefwala as Queen Regent. The 19th of August 1983, the Legogo issues yet another government gazette, proclaiming that the courts do not have jurisdiction over matters involving Swazi law and custom. The court adjourns for a week to allow the judge, Justice Charles Nathan, to deliberate on the court's competence to hear the case. The 22nd of August 1983, during the adjournment, the Legogo throws Jalawi's lawyer, Douglas Lukal, and her advisor, Arthur Koza, into jail under the 60-day detention law. 2 days before the judgment is to be delivered, the Minister of Justice, Polycarp Dlamini, summons the presiding judges, Justices Nathan and Hassan Ali, together with one of the court assessors, and advises them to drop the case. They oblige and the case is dropped, with the court accepting the Legogo's decree. Polycarp later claims the judges sought his opinion. There is countrywide opposition to Jalawi's removal and replacement by Ntfombi Tiefwala. The newly formed PDMO mobilizes students at the University of Swaziland, and numerous protest marches are held in Babin and Manzini. Chief Dambuza Lukal attempts to mobilize chiefs to denounce Queen Regent Jalawi's removal from office. The 60-day detention law is introduced to deal with those opposed to opposition to Ntfombi Tiefwala's appointment. The 21st of October 1983, Prince Gabhini is dismissed from cabinet for supporting Queen Regent Jalawi. The security forces are divided. The police supports Queen Regent Jalawi while the army supports Legogo. Prime Minister Bakimpi issues an order for the arrest. Prince Gabhini. The police refuse to carry out the order. 1983. Ntfombi Tiefwala becomes regent without Jalawi's insignia of office, as she refuses to hand them over. In another perversion of culture, the Legogo organizes new ones for her. 1983. Ntfombi Tiefwala's son, Fikanemak Hosativ, is officially announced as the Crown Prince, a king-in-waiting. 1983. Chiefs are summoned to a Libandla meeting, where they are ordered to publicly declare their support for Indlovukazi Ntombi or face the consequences. Dambuza Lukal is the only chief that refuses to pledge allegiance to Indlovukazi Ntombi. The 28th of October 1983, the second Tinkhundla elections are held. Government transport ferry voters to the polls, resulting in a high voter turnout. March 1984. Prince Mfanasibili reveals that there has been an attempted coup and it has been foiled. Blame is placed on a group referred to as the Gang of 4-inch. Namely, Sishai Ngzamalo, Richard Dlamini, Martin Mziniso and Prince Dumisa Dlamini. They are charged with attempting to force the authorized person to sign a government gazette dismissing Prince Bakimpi and Polycarp Dlamini. The 14th of September 1984, the Commissioner of Police, Titus Msabai, and Army Chief of Staff, Colonel Mangamini Nzimanzi, are dismissed. The 14th of September 1984, Majaji Simlane is appointed Police Commissioner by Queen Regent Nfombi. The 14th of September 1984, Gideon Fanono Jube is appointed Army Commander by Queen Regent Nfombi. He is given the rank of Brigadier. The 2nd of October 1985, an extraordinary government gazette is released in October 1985 dismissing Prince Mfanasibili and Dr. George Msabai along with Chief Antonio Fernandez, Swaziland's roving ambassador, Yusuf Patel and Police Commissioner Majaji Simlane. The 2nd of October 1985, Sandal Mziniso is appointed Police Commissioner by Queen Regent Nfombi Tfwala. The 11th of October 1985, Queen Regent Nfombi Tfwala changes the status of the Lekoko, reducing it to a Council of State and transfers many of its powers and functions to herself. The 25th of October 1985, Chairperson of Civil Service Board, Prince Mfanasibili is dismissed by Queen Regent Nfombi. The 19th of November 1985, the authorized person, Prince Sazisa is fired by Queen Regent Nfombi Tfwala. April 25, 1986, Nfombi Tfwala's son, Fikanemak Hosative, is installed king, marking the official beginning of his reign. He assumes the name King Mswati III. Today marks exactly 55 years since Swazi culture and tradition was perverted by one royal faction to facilitate the assumption to the throne of its favorite candidate, one Fikanemak Hosative Dlamini, a product of a one-night stand between King Siphuza and Nfombi Tfwala, a maid to his wife Lamasuku. Sources: R. Levin, When the Sleeping Grass Awakens. W. J. Breitenbach, Party Politics and Aristocratic Rule in Swaziland. Griffiths, D. C. Funnell, The Abortive Swaziland Deal J. Mzizi, The Dominance of the Swazi Monarchy and the Moral Dynamics of Democratization of the Swazi State M. Magongo, Kingship Transition in Swaziland J. Daniel, J. Villain, Swaziland, Political Crisis, Regional Dilemma. Sparks, Turmoil in Swaziland Disturbs South Africa.